Your cockatiel is trying to tell you something, and you might be missing it. Is that cute, puffed-up look a sign of comfort or a cry for help? From hisses and fluffed-up feathers to creepy, quiet moods, these signs could mean fear, stress, or even serious illness. Let's break them down, one by one. At number 1, we have the flattened crest. A cockatiel's crest is incredibly expressive. If it's plastered flat against its head, your bird isn't relaxed. This signals intense emotions like fear, anger, or aggression. A flat crest combined with a hiss is a crystal clear warning to back off. If you ignore it, you will likely get bitten. Your bird is clearly saying, "I am not okay with this." So, what should you do? Stop what you're doing and give them space. Try to figure out what's causing the stress. Is the dog too close? Are you trying to pet them when they don't want it? By backing away, you show that you respect their communication, which builds trust. Remember, a flat crest is a warning, not a tantrum. At number 2, the unmistakable hiss. Few sounds from a cockatiel are as direct as a hiss. This is not a happy or playful sound. A hiss is a defensive warning that means your bird is scared, angry, or feels threatened. It's essentially a growl, the last vocal warning before a bite. It means a threat. Your hand, another pet, a new toy needs to go away now. If your cockatiel hisses at you, the message is clear. Back off. Don't force an interaction or try to calm it down. Never punish a bird for hissing. That's like scolding a dog for growling. You're removing the warning, teaching the bird to bite without a signal. Instead, calmly back away and figure out what scared it. Respecting the hiss is vital for building trust. At number 3, the aggressive crouch. If a flat crest and a hiss are warnings, the aggressive crouch is a full-blown threat. This is one of the most serious aggressive displays a cockatiel can make. It almost always comes right before a lunge or a bite. The bird will crouch low, lower its head, and fluff its feathers to look bigger, sometimes fanning its tail. This may be paired with eye pinning, where the pupils shrink into a focused, intimidating stare. There is no mixed message here. The bird is angry, territorial, and ready to fight. Do not challenge your bird in this state. The only safe move is to give it space. Step away from the cage and let it cool down on its own. After it relaxes, try to figure out what triggered such a strong reaction to prevent it from happening again. Lunging and snapping are the absolute last warnings before a bite. A lunge is a sharp forward jerk of the head, while a snap is a quick bite into the air toward you. These are not playful moves, they are aggressive actions meant to make you retreat. The bird is telling you as clearly as possible that you've crossed a line. This behavior usually happens after you've missed all the earlier subtle signals. If a cockatiel lunges or snaps at you, it's stop. Pull your hand back immediately, but do it calmly. A jerky motion can scare your bird even more. Don't scold it. It's only acting out of fear or frustration. Use this as a learning moment to pay closer attention to your bird's body language so it doesn't feel the need to escalate. So far, we've covered all the aggressive signs, but cockatiel body language isn't always so obvious. Let's look at some not so easy to understand cues. Number 5, eye pinning. A cockatiel's eyes are very expressive. One of the most intense signals is eye pinning, where the pupils rapidly shrink and expand. This isn't a reaction to light. It's a sign of extreme emotional arousal. That emotion can be good, like excitement, or bad, like aggression or fear. You have to read this signal along with the bird's other body language. If your cockatiel pins its eyes with a flat crest and a tense body, it's in a highly aggressive or fearful state. This is a major warning that the bird is overstimulated and might bite. On the other hand, a bird that's eye pinning while happily chirping is probably just excited. The key is to see eye pinning as a sign of intensity. When paired with negative body language, it's time to back off. Number 6, wing flipping and flapping. A cockatiel's wings tell you a lot about its mood. A gentle wing flap might just be a stretch or excitement, but sharp, aggressive wing movements are a clear sign of irritation. A quick, sudden flick of the wings is often a sign of annoyance, as if shrugging something off. More dramatic flapping, spreading the wings wide without flying, is a display of anger and a warning to stay away. The bird is trying to make itself look bigger. Context is key here. If you approach your bird and it flaps its wings angrily, it wants to be left alone. This is a territorial signal that says, "This is my spot, get out." You must respect that boundary. Pushing it will only make the bird more frustrated and could lead to a bite. Number 7. When too much chirping is a cry for help. Cockatiels are naturally noisy. Chirps, whistles, and flock calls are all normal. But there's a big difference between normal chatter and nonstop distressed screaming. This kind of high-pitched, harsh sound signals distress, boredom, loneliness, or even pain. It's their way of shouting for help because a critical need isn't being met. When your bird screams, don't just cover the cage, as this can make things worse. Instead, try to figure out the reason. Is your bird lonely? Is its cage big enough, with plenty of enriching toys? Could a health issue be causing pain? If you can't find an obvious environmental reason, it might be time to book a vet visit. Getting to the root cause is the only way to solve this behavior. Number 8. Persistently puffed up feathers. A slightly fluffed up cockatiel, grinding its beak, is usually happy and ready for a nap. But a bird that stays puffed up for a long time, especially while looking tired or hunched, is sending a major distress signal. This is one of the most common signs of illness. Birds instinctively hide weakness, so by the time they look sick, they are often very sick. They puff their feathers to trap air and keep warm when they lack the energy to do it themselves. If you see your cockatiel constantly puffed up, inactive, or sitting on the bottom of the cage, that's a huge red flag. Call an avian vet immediately. While you wait for your appointment, keep the cage warm and move food and water closer to conserve their energy. Remember, this is only temporary support, not a cure. Ignoring this sign can have tragic results. Number 9. Tail bobbing when resting. A happy cockatiel might wag its tail like a dog, but a rhythmic up and down bobbing of the tail while the bird is resting is a much more serious sign. This kind of tail bobbing often signals respiratory distress or difficulty breathing. Birds use their tail muscles to help pump air through their lungs. When breathing is hard, that movement becomes much more obvious. If you see your cockatiel's tail bobbing while it rests, watch closely for other signs of illness. Are its feathers puffed? Can you hear any wheezing or clicking? Is there any discharge from its nostrils? Respiratory infections are extremely serious for birds and need a vet's attention right away. A bobbing tail is a clear physical sign that something is wrong. And finally, number 10. Sudden quietness. For a bird that's usually a whirlwind of activity, a sudden switch to being quiet is a massive red flag. In the wild, birds hide their illness until they physically can't anymore. A cockatiel that is strangely quiet, listless, or sleeping constantly is likely sick and conserving all its energy. It may lose interest in things it normally loves, like playing or interacting. Take this sign very seriously, because it often means that your bird's illness is already at an advanced stage. Other signs include sleeping on 2 feet instead of 1, or resting on the cage floor. If your normally noisy bird suddenly becomes still and quiet, don't just see it as an off day. A drastic change in energy is a clear vet-level emergency. That's it for this video. Learning to read these signs means fewer bites, better bonding, and a much happier bird. If you found this guide helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel.